Oh, hello. Okay, good morning. Okay, how are you? Okay, so here our session for the novel or the narrative poetry is called Poe at the End of the World. Poe at the End of the World. Okay, so firstly, let me share my screen with you. Okay, so yes, here we are. Okay. Yes. Here, Poe at the end of the world. Okay, so here I think that's in narrative poetry, and the first time for you that's in getting narrative poetry. So here, narrative poetry, we know, as we have said before, that's in read a story or telling a story, narrate a story. So it's not poetry, but it's a story in the shape of poetry. So here we have to read That's in Poe at the End of the World by Sherman Alexie. He is the author. He is the poet. Okay, by Sherman Alexie, the author tries to declare why he tells this narrative poetry. So now you have to know that's in why the narrative poetry wrote this why the narrative poetry wrote this narrative poetry, why the author, why Sherman wrote this poetry, why to forgive Europeans for destroying their culture, to forgive Europeans for destroying their culture. So he wrote this narrative poetry to forgive Europeans for destroying their culture. Okay, so here that's in the speaker art. The speaker starts off each sentence with the strong statement. He starts each sentence with a strong statement that's called I am told by many of you that I forgive and so I shall. He restart and he tries to start each sentence, each statement with this sentence. I, I'm told by many of you. I'm told by many of you why he said and why he said this sentence in each statement. Why to refer how his grandfathers were suffering from the Europeans' evil. Again, he tried to tell you that in how his grandfather suffers from how his grandfather is getting hurts a lot of or getting pains a lot of pains against the Europeans. So here that's in he starts the statements with I am told by many of you, he repeated a lot of times why to refer how his grandfathers were suffering from the Europeans' evil. Okay, number two here, the speaker uses the line I am told by many of you after an Indian woman puts her shoulder to the Grand Koli Dam. Why he mentioned an Indian woman puts her shoulder to Grand Koli Dam. Why he said this? Why he said this part? Why? What's the purpose? To show how the Native Americans will forgive the white European colonizers. To try to tell you that he can or he would like to forgive the Europeans. Why the Europeans do this? Why? Because at the first of or the first people who lived in America, they were the Native Americans. The Native Americans, they are Indians. Okay, so the Europeans tried to attack and kill most of the Native Americans. Okay, so now he tried to tell them that I would like to forgive the white European colonizers. Why? Because they damaged their dams because they damaged their dams. So again, why he said this part of the why. Okay, that's it to show how the Native Americans will forgive the white European colonizers. Why? Because they damaged their dams. Okay, thank you. So here, the next part. That's in Alexei speaks a lot about Grand Coulee Dam and floodwaters. Why he do this? Why he mentioned the Grand Coulee Dam and he mentioned the floodwaters? Why? Because he wants to show how the white people, how the European, they are white people, enslaved nature with the man-made dams. Why the white people enslaved and try to deal with them in a cruel way, in a bad way. Why? Why he said Grand Collie Dam and floodwaters here, why he repeated them to show how the white people enslaved the nature and their man-made dams. Okay, enslaved that's mean getting all the nature for them, get or own the nature for them, for the just only for the European, not for Indian or not for Native American Indian. Okay, so here and we have to, yeah, you have to know also that's why the, the poet mm, mentioned the fish here that's in the pool at the tribe believed the salmon. Why he mentioned the salmon to be immortal forever? Okay, again, according to the overview, the pool at the end of the world. Po, the tribe, is a tribe, believed salmon to be immortal. What does mean immortal? Forever, timeless. So here the Pope believed salmon is be immortal because they believe that salmon is doesn't die, isn't live forever. Okay. They also believe that salmon took a human from the ocean. Of course, it's an imagination. It's not real, but they believe with this. Okay, listen from their beliefs. Okay, believed also believed that the salmon took human from in the ocean but transformed themselves into fish to be eaten. Again, they believe that the salmon is in the real, in the origins, they are human, but they transformed their beliefs or themselves into fish to be eaten. Of course, it's not real, but they believe in this belief. Okay, so here, why the author, why the poet mentioned the salmon here? Why? Because he think or he believed that the salmon is timeless, is live forever, live forever. Okay, and they also believe that the salmon is the origins is human or were human, and they transformed themselves to be a fish to be eaten. Okay. Okay, so here it's also it was believed that they didn't treat the salmon with respect. Yani once the the European or the anyone treated the salmon with didn't treat the salmon with respect, they didn't come again to them in the river. Yani once you treat the salmon in a bad way, they wouldn't come again. They wouldn't come again. He think about this. He think about this. Okay. So here the forgiveness will come after them have gathered around the fire and with that someone has three stories. It must still be before sunrise. يعني, يعني, they have forgive the European in three stories. In three stories, what does it mean? That means that in the tribe have gathered around the fire. Number one, and with that salmon that has three stories. It must still before sunrise. Okay, before the dawn, before the sundown. Okay, gun down. So one story will be teach us how to pray. The first story we have here now, he said that in three stories. The first story will teach us how to pray. Second story will make us laugh for hours. The third story will give us a reason to dance. Again, please. So here, that's it. We have, or they have to forgive. And how they forgive, how can they forgive? By three stories. The first story will teach us how to pray. Second story will make us laugh. Third story, they will give us reason to dance. Okay. In Native American stories, the salmon often represented the creator. They think that because we have said before here, because we have said before that the salmon is the forever, live here, yes, live here forever, and and so here that's in salmon often represented the creator. What does it mean the creator? The one who teach a human to live. What does it mean creator? The one who teach a human to live. Okay, let me do it in a different color to be distinguished for you. Okay, like in this here. Okay. Okay, so that's in at the end of the poem. He said that I'm told by many of you that I must forgive and I saw. Okay, now I think that now you can understand this why he wrote this poetry or forgive the European for destroying their culture, why he mentioned the Indian woman, why he mentioned the Indian woman, why he mentioned the Kuli, the Grand Kuli Dam, why what refers to the salmon, why he mentioned the salmon in his narrative poetry, what refers to the salmon refers to timeless or forever, he lives forever. Like why he think or what he thought about the salmon. Salmon, it's in the origins or in the beginning were human and turned themselves into fish to be eaten. And once you treated the salmon in a bad way, the salmon doesn't come again for you. Okay, that's in and how can I ask you a question now? That's in how or what is the way that in can the narrative forgive the European? What is the way? Okay, so you have three stories, or they gathered around the fire, and they have three stories. The first one is teach us how to pray. The second story is will make us laugh, and the third story for hours, and the third story will give us reason to dance. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and tomorrow, inshallah, we're going to discuss more, inshallah. Thank you. Thank you.